Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the next beauty budget update. This might be a very long video because I have a lot to talk about. Yeah, I've had big changes in my beauty budget this month and I'm very excited to share with you, but also a bit nervous because yeah, you're gonna see why in a second. But before jumping into any of the craziness in this video, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So I usually go through briefly my rules of the project, but I'm gonna skip over that this time because again it's gonna be a crazy video. So let's just jump into kind of where I was last month and where I am now. So at the end of March I had 15 points, I believe, yeah, 15 points roll over. So that's kind of where I was at the end of March. And then in April I did end up purchasing a couple of things which I'm going to go through. So I actually did make an order from Cult Beauty and I ended up spending 2 points there. So let me go through what I got. So the first thing I got from Cult Beauty is actually a replacement, so it does not count into the beauty budget points, and that is the Hourglass Veil, what's it called, Veil translucent setting powder. I love this powder. I had it last year too, and it's like the only translucent setting powder that I have in my collection. I was out of translucent powders, so this was, like I said, a replacement. So that is the first thing I bought, but it does not count as a point. The second powder I got though did actually count as a point because I did get 2 powders, and that is my Pat McGrath what's it called, Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder, and I got this in light. So I have been using this a little bit, but I currently have this in the light, well, this is light shade, the medium shade then, so like the slightly colored one. This is like the translucent one, and the one that I have noticed is a little bit too dark for me now when I'm in the palest, but it does work perfectly for me in summer. And I love that powder. It's my favorite like touch-up powder, and I really do love it. So I wanted to get the light version too, to just have now in winter. So that is the second product I bought, and that's the first point. So while I was on the website, I ended up picking up something that I've been wanting to have for a long time. I also wanted to hit like a minimum purchase amount because you got some free gifts with purchase when you did. So I ended up buying this thing right here, which is actually from Tower 28. This one is the Shine On Milky Jelly, Milky Lip Jelly, and this one is in the shade Almond. So I've been eyeing these like lip glosses from Tower 28 for quite a while, and I also tried one of the milky glosses, and the one I wanted the most, which was, what was it called? Is it Fig? No, I can't remember, but it's like the one that's slightly more pinky tone than this, was out of stock. But I still feel like this is one that I will get a lot of use out of, and I don't have like a pure brown gloss like this in my collection, so I thought this would be quite useful. I have used it once and I really do like it so far, but I need to play around with it a bit more to see what I think about it. But I did pick this one up too, and since I do definitely have more glosses in my collection, this was also a point. So like I said, at Cult Beauty, if you spent the minimum amount, I can't remember how much it was now, you got like a goodie bag of loads of stuff. You got like some skincare, hair care, things like that, but you did also get a few makeup items, and I have them right here. So the least, I guess, exciting thing, but I did actually end up getting 2 of these, which I don't think you're supposed to, but I got 2 of the Benefit They're Real Magnet lashes or mascara. So I got 2 minis, so that is the 2 things. And as you might know, I don't count gifts into my beauty budget because they are gifts, but I need to spend my money on it for it to count. So these 2 were no points, and I'm excited to play around with them. They are not waterproof, but I've been wearing non-waterproof mascara a lot used when I work from home, or like even today when I'm wearing fake eyelashes, I'm wearing the non-waterproof mascara underneath because my lashes can't hold a curl without waterproof mascara. But at least with this one, like, you know, for example today I'm wearing lashes, so it doesn't really matter, or when I'm working from home I don't really care about my lashes looking their absolute best. So I think I'm gonna get use out of these anyway, and I'm excited to try it. Then for the more kind of exciting things, we got a mini blush. I actually already have this blush, but I thought it was nice to have a mini of it. I mean, I got it free anyway, but if I don't use it, I might just gift it to someone. But this one is the Orgasm Blush from Norris, and it's so cute. It's such a tiny little compact. Let me see if I can open it, and you can see it right there. Like, it's honestly the cutest little thing. It does not have a mirror, which might be a bit annoying, but I think again it will be useful when we're traveling or touching up at work or something like that. So we'll see if I use it, and again, if I don't, I will just gift it to someone else. Then the last thing I got as a gift with purchase was actually a repeat thing in my collection, but it's something that I'm really excited about, and that is the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Revolution lipstick in Pillow Talk. So I already have this lipstick and I love it. It's one of my favorite kind of nudes. I mean, I think it's kind of a lot of people's cult favorite. And it's like, honestly, look how small this is. This is like the cutest little thing you've ever seen. And the reason why I'm really excited about it is because I can have this in my bag as a top up lipstick. I've actually used it once already. It's not the most stable thing. I can already tell like it's moving around a lot in there, but if I'm gentle with it, I'm sure it'll be fine. And I'm just gonna keep this in my bag as like my touch up on the go nude, because my bag is quite small. So sometimes when I I bring a lot of like powder, concealer, lipstick, it can take up a lot of space in my bag. So this one is going to be perfect just to have in there, because it takes up no space. And honestly, I can't get over like how cute this is. It's like exactly like the full-size one, but it's just so mini, and I'm very, very excited about having this one. I mean, it's nothing new to me, but it's a very useful product to have. So that is the last product. But all three of those, or four I guess, products were all gift with purchase, so it did not count in my beauty budget. But yeah, 2 points spent at Cult Beauty. So let's move on to the big change in my points and in my collection. So I actually have my friend Martina. She, I mentioned her in a couple of videos before, but she has recently done a massive declutter of her collection, and she's a beauty lover like me. That's how we connected. And she just wanted to downsize and be more minimalist about her collection, and she hit me up and she said, hey, I'm getting rid of lots of stuff, do you want it? You know, I'm happy to give it to you. There were some products that I bought from her which are a bit more kind of expensive products, which is absolutely fair. I would have paid a lot of money for all of this stuff. I will show you in a second. But I'm so unbelievably grateful for her, because there's a lot of products in here that I wanted to try anyway. There's a lot of high-end stuff. There's a lot that she just gifted to me because she felt like they were too used, or she felt like she couldn't sell it, and I'm just honestly thrown away. Martina, if you're watching this, I am so grateful. I've told you this before, but I can't believe it. It's literally still like, when I look at this box, I still feel like it's Christmas. And I met up with her for dinner and drinks I think it was last week, and well, as soon as I came home, although it was like 11 p.m, I spent like an hour just swatching, playing, and the next day while working I was continuing swatching everything, and I was so excited, and I'm still so excited. So let me share with you. I'm just going to show you first the box of everything, and you might be shocked, and this is kind of what I'm saying. My beauty budget completely went out of the, oh god, this is so heavy. It went completely out of the window, because this is the box of stuff that she gave me, which I don't even know if you can see how big this box is, but it's completely full to the rim of things. So I'm gonna go through everything. I'm not gonna talk through everything in detail because it's gonna take way too long, but I want to share with you everything that I'm bringing in. So let's start with that. I think I'm gonna start with the things that I did actually buy from her, because that is where my points are gonna be counted into, and then with the other things I will just share with you, because again, they were gifts from her, so I'm not counting those in, because if I did, I don't think I would be able to, you know, hit those points in months and months and months. So let me talk you through first the things that I bought. So as you will see with the first item, the reason why I'm a little bit about it is because there's eyeshadow in here. There's a lot of eyeshadow in here. Actually, I mean, it's not that many. I think I counted it up in my spreadsheet, and it's about 150 200 eyeshadows in total, which, I mean, that is a lot. That is definitely a lot. But I am considering decluttering some other things to compensate for it, which I did actually post a Paris shopping block video recently, and that's kind of one of the reasons why this is one of the reasons why I did that video. So let me talk through it. So the first thing that I purchased from her, well, I mean purchased, but I got it really cheaply. Like, I can't even remember exact prices, but I think I paid like 25-30 pounds for this, which this is the Biba palette from Natasha Denona. It's I think 120 pounds on its own, so you know, 25-30 pounds is ridiculous, and you can see like how new this is. Like, it's not been, like, it's barely been used, but that's kind of what she wanted to sell it for anyway. So very grateful, and I'm grateful for all of this, but that is the first thing I bought off her. I have one more Natasha Denona palette. This is the Midi Sendo palette, and again, I got this very, very cheaply from her. very grateful again. So that is the next product that I use points for. I guess one of the most exciting things that I got from her, which are very heavy because these palettes are quite heavy. And again, I think I paid maybe £40 for these each. Pat McGrath, 3 palettes, and again, very affordable compared to like the retail price. And yeah, I'm not gonna open these up. I mean, actually, maybe I should. No, I'm not gonna open them up. This is the Subliminal palette. This is the Watership number 1. It's like the blue kind of cool toned one. That is the first palette. Then we have the Divine Rose 2 palette, which is this one here. It's like the pinkier toned one. Yeah, so that's the second one. And then the third one, which is the one that I actually already played with this one. I went out for a work event on Friday and I wore this then. And this is the Moonlit Seduction palette, which is the newest one. Very excited. And all of these were on my kind of wish list of Pat McGrath anyway, so again, I'm very grateful for all 3 of these. I also did pick up a palette that I've been eyeing recently. It wasn't really my style back then, but I was actually really excited when she just letting this go because I've been wanting to try it. And again, I got this for, I can't remember, maybe like £15. Very generous again. But this is the Anastasia Color Bible palette. I'm really interested in this color story now. I'm excited to play around with it and you see how I go. I think this is going to be quite nice, like neutral tone palette. There are some deeper tones here, but if you look at like the neutral shadows, I think they're quite light, quite romantic, which is exactly what I've been loving recently. So that is the next palette. So those were all the palettes that I paid for from her. Moving on to other products, we have Pat McGrath again. This is the blush. This is one of her Skin Fetish blushes in the shade Divine Rose, which is this one here. It's a classic color, but yeah, I'm really excited. I've worn it once so far, but I want to play around with it more. Really excited about it. And yeah, this is one of the products that, like, again, I was blown away by. I got this again very cheaply off her, and I'm so grateful. I also bought the Hourglass face palette off her. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit Sculpture palette, which is the one that looks like this. I have one of the Hourglass palettes before, but I really liked that one, and this one seemed a bit different. They had like some tones that I really wanted to try. This blush here is also one that I've been wanting to, like, I've been dying to try it for ages. This is the Mood Exposure one, right? Yeah, Mood Exposure, that's what it's called. So I thought this one would be nice, and again, I got it very affordably. I don't think I would have bought all of these things right now if I didn't get them at such a good discount. But yeah, this one I'm very excited about as well. I also bought the Kosas Cloud Set Powder in Comfy. This one I have tried, but I think this one is slightly too deep for me at the moment. So I think it's going to be a perfect summer powder for me, and I'm very excited because she said that she didn't like this because she has a bit more of an oily skin type, and I have more of a normal to dry skin type. And I think this is going to work really well for me. I'm excited to play around with it, but I'm just going to have to wait until I'm a bit more tanned, which hopefully shouldn't be too long because it's finally heated up here in the UK and it feels like summer. It feels like we skipped spring and went from winter straight into summer. But yeah, this is the next product, and again, I'm very excited to play around with it. Kosas is another one that I haven't tried yet. It's another brand that I was dying to try, and yeah, I really want to pick up the concealer, but this one I'm excited to play around with too. We have a bronzer next, and this one is the Urban Decay Beach Bronzer in the shade Sunkissed. This one is another one that I feel like was very hyped up a while back, and I'm very excited to play around with this one too, because I feel like this one, it's a bit more red toned, and the undertone I think is going to work really well in summer. So very excited about this one too, and I've heard really good things about this bronzer. We have these 2 products right here, which are the Kaleidos highlighters. I already have 4 of these, I believe. I have the 2 Molten Chromes and 2 other ones, but these 2 I do not have. And the first one is the shade Ray Rider, which I'm assuming, like, it's just kind of like a normal champagne color, but I feel like I'm going to get a lot of use out of this one. So that is the first one. It's the number 3, Space Rider again. And then this we have is number 4, and this one is the shade Mars Melter, and this one is the original Mars Melter, which is like the kind of pinky shifty one. But they have a new version of Mars Melter now, which I might still be interested in picking up, but this one, like I said, is the original one. We also have another product that I'm so excited about trying, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, and this one is the shade number 3. I have been wanting to try this one too for ages, but I just didn't want to like pick it up until I finished up a couple other products. But again, I got it from her for very cheaply, so I'm excited to play with this one. I feel like it's a little bit deep for me right now, but I feel like even if I topped it with a lighter foundation, it would work. Or I think this is going to be a beautiful product to wear in summer because it is very glowy. So I think this is going to be perfect to play around with then. As you might be able to tell, I think Martina is a slightly bit more tan than I am, or like she has a slightly deeper skin tone, which is why some of these products I think is going to work better for me in summer. But I don't have too many base products in here, so I'm not too worried about it. Then the last 3 products that I actually paid for from her are these 2 lip glosses here from Pat McGrath. I got them again, I think I got all 3 of these for like £10, which is again amazing. And we have the shade Secret Lover, we have the shade Peach Perversion, and the shade Twilio. So again, these 3 right here, we have like a coral shade, a nude shade, and then like a purpley mauve shade. So those 3 right there. Those, like I said, were all the products that I actually bought of her. I think in total for all of this I spent like £250, maybe 300, somewhere around there, I can't remember exactly. But I mean, for all of those things, that is unbelievable. Again, I'm so grateful. If I were to buy all of that new, just the 3 Pat McGrath palettes can cover that cost, which is insane. I mean, if you wouldn't buy the full price, it would be even more than that. But again, I'm so grateful. So Martina, if you're watching this, thank you so much. You have made my makeup lover heart very happy. So those were all of the products. Before I talk through this like total and also where my points are at the moment, I will go through the remaining products. These are all the things that she gifted me, which you can see, hopefully, is still a lot of things. So I'm going to go through and talk you through those very quickly, just so you can see what else is in here. So the first thing is this Cheek Stars reunion tour palette from Benefit, which is one of their face palettes. I never had a face palette from Benefit, so I'm excited about this. And actually, these are 5 products obviously, and surprisingly I only ever tried Hula from here. We have Dallas, Sugar Bomb, Cookie, Georgia, and Hula, and I only tried Hula before, so very excited about this one and to play around with it. I actually wore Cookie already, and I really like that highlighter, so it's a beautiful one. Let's do eyeshadow palettes next, because there's a few more eyeshadow palettes. This one here is actually really funny because it's one that I was planning to try out, or like not planning to try out, but I was like looking into it because I've seen it in a couple of people's videos, and I thought it was a really beautiful color story, and I was looking into like if it was still available and stuff, and she gave me this one for free, which is a Nabla Dreamy. I think this is a really beautiful palette, and I'm excited to play around with it. You can see it there. I mean, it's a very basic color story, but I just love the tones in here. I mean, these 2 colors here, I guess it's not my absolute favorite, but the rest of them I think I will get a lot of use out of. And you know, I got a pan in this one, which is nice. I think that's kind of why she gifted it rather than try to sell it, because it had a pan in it. But I mean, it's good for me, it's good for my pan percentage. It doesn't mean everything went out the window, but I think I only got like 2 pans out of this whole thing. And I think the second pan comes from this palette here, which is the Urban Stone Vibes palette, which is another palette that I've been like not regretting not picking up, but I've been kind of like interested in more now rather than when it came out. And this one looks like this, and you can see again there's a pan there in the green shadow, but I'm very excited to play around with this one and you see how these perform and like how they look on the eye, because again I've been very intrigued by that palette recently. 2 brands that are super exciting to me, because it's both brands that I never tried before but are very high end and very hyped up, and that is Viseart and Rowan. So Viseart, she gave me the Paris Edit palette, which is this one right here. It's like just like one of the mini palettes, and I'm really excited about this one. And like the mattes, and try out the Viseart formula because I haven't yet, so that is the next palette. Then we have, again, very exciting, this is the Rowan quad, and this is the 75 degrees quad, yeah, that's what it's called. And this is like the more warm toned one, which looks like this. Again, I haven't tried it on my eyes yet, but I'm so excited to own this, and it's very hyped up and it's quite expensive too, so very grateful again. And she just gifted me this one, so you know, I'm incredibly grateful for that. So I think lastly for eyeshadow we have 2 more Natasha Denona palettes, which are 2 of her mini palettes, which are these 2 right here. We have the Mini Gold, which is another one that was on my wish list, and I'm very excited to have. And then we have the Mini Biba, which is newer, so I hadn't actually looked into this one on my wish list, but it's colors that are right up my alley, and I feel like will be very beautiful to wear in like different looks and just in like an everyday kind of palette. So that is the next one, and again very excited to have those. So again, I think those are all the eyeshadows. Let's move on to kind of cheek and base products. So I got 3 of the LYS products. We have 2 cheek products and 1 base product. So the first one I have is the cream blush. This is the higher standard satin matte cream blush in Confident, and I love this one. I've tried this one twice already, and I think this is beautiful. It gives a very kind of bronzed kind of look. I think it's going to be absolutely stunning in summer. It looks quite deep, but it's also very pigmented, but it blends out like a dream, and I love this so far. And I think again I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this summer. Then we have the No Limits matte bronzer in the shade Motivate, which is the light one, and this one looks like this. This is actually the bronzer that I'm wearing today. I've been using this one almost every day since I got it, and I love this formula. It's a really, really beautiful one, and I think this is a perfect kind of, I don't know, springtime bronzer for me, because it's like a bit more warm tone but it's not too deep, and yeah, I've been loving it. Again, you can see it on my skin today. And then lastly, for the LYS, we have this Triple Fix translucent setting powder in the shade Brilliance, which is the banana one. I was honestly this close to picking this one up in my Cult Beauty order that I mentioned earlier, but I just didn't want to, because the color that I originally wanted, which is the lighter one, was out of stock, and I was like, I'm not sure if this one will suit me. And I do think this is slightly too deep for me at the moment, especially for like an under eye or brightening powder. But again, I'm very excited to try this in summer to see how I go and see how this powder works, because I think it's going to be perfect for me during those months. We have 2 more blushes. We have 1 cream blush, which is from Melt, and I actually never tried anything from Melt, so I'm very excited. There's a lot of brands in here that I haven't tried before, so that's very exciting. But this one is in the shade Cali Dream, and this is one of their cream blushes. Sorry, this is the cream blush light. So this one looks like this. It's a beautiful kind of summery shade, and I love these type of colors, so I'm excited to play around with this one, but I haven't tried it yet. Then the second blush, or like the last blush that I have, is the Colourpop Pressed Powder Blush in the shade Desert Rose, which looks like this. Again, a very nice summer color. I know Martina doesn't really go for warm tones that much, so I think that's kind of why she's giving me a few more kind of warm toned shades. Still kind of, I guess, on the blush area, but I don't know if this is a blush or highlighter, but it's the Glowgasm Beauty Wand from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Peachgasm. And again, I'm very excited. This is one of the kind of products that I was eyeing up to buy on Beauty Bodies anyway, so very excited to have this one and to play around with it. We have 2 more bronzers, and the next one is one that I have been dying to try, and I'm so excited to have it in my collection now, and that is the Milk Makeup bronzer. This is one of the, I can't remember what this is called, like the, you know, with these kind of stick things, and this is in the shade Baked, which is the most famous one. I am so excited. I've tried around with this one so far. I've worn it twice, and it's a very kind of bronze look. Maybe I was over applying it, but it's a beautiful, beautiful formula. It blends out like a dream. It's very bronzy, very beautiful, and I think it's going to be my go-to one in summer, especially because it's cream as well. And again, this is one that I was planning to pick up anyway very soon, so I'm excited to have this one. And then we also have the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Matte Bronzer. I don't know if this has a color. Light medium is the color, and this one looks like this. Yeah, it's another bronzer. Nothing like special, I guess. It's more drugstore, but I'm excited to have another bronzer because I don't have too many bronzers, or I didn't have too many bronzers before this, or rather. So I'm excited to have that one too. Next up, we have a couple base products. The first one is the Maybelline Perfecta 4-in-1 Glow Makeup, and this one is in the shade Fair Light. I need to figure out what this one is good for. I think I've seen people use this as like a primer color, like a glowy primer similar to the Charlotte Tilbury one. Or like as like a highlighter or like a glowy kind of area here. So I need to play around with this and see how I like it, or like how it works best for me. But that is the next product. Then we have the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream in the shade Natural 5. This is one that I think didn't work for her skin type, so I'm trying to play with this one, but again I think it's more of a summer shade for me. And then we have 2 concealers last for the base category, and we have the Norris Creamy, what is this one called? The cream, it doesn't say on here, does it? The Creamy Concealer? Oh yeah, it does. Sorry, this is on the back. This one is the Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Creme Brulee, which I think is going to work pretty well for me. So that is the next one. And then the concealer that I'm most excited about, but it's definitely too deep for me at the moment, is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Taffy. Again, definitely more of a summer shade for me, but I'm excited to play around with this one because I've heard so many good things about this one, and yeah, I'm just excited to have this. So we only have 3 more products to go, which are more kind of like random products, I guess, or like we have 2 lip products and 1 random one. This is the Pink Honey Glue Original Super Hold Brow Gel. This is like a similar thing to like a soap brow. So you just use this and you can like wax up your brows, and I'm very excited to play around with this one because I love the soap brow look. I haven't been doing that recently, but I'm excited to have another product to try it with because I think that really works for my brows. They are very stubborn and don't hold very well with like regular brow gel, so excited to play around with that one. And then lastly we have 2 products right here, which is the Colourpop Just a Tint lip crayon, I guess, in the shade Agogo, which is like this kind of mauve tone, like, yeah, you can see it there, like a rosy mauve tone. And then lastly we have one last Pat McGrath product, and this is the lip pencil in Divine Rose, which is again like a mauve tone right there. It's like a bit more of a cool mauve tone, but you can see it on my hand right there. So that, checking the box, that is all the things that I got from her. Again, so incredibly grateful, and there's like a lot of things in here, but let's move on to showing you the points. Moving on to the points, I did spend, like I said, 2 points on Cult Beauty, and then I did spend 15 points from Martina, so that gives me a total of 17 points used. And like I said, I had 15 points rolled over from last month, which means that I have 2 points behind. But let me talk through what I did actually end up earning back. So I did end up earning 2 more points from Beauty Empties because I had 4 more empties for a total of 12. So that is 2 more points. And then I did also hit 5 more pans, which gave me a total of 25, which is another point there. So I did earn 3 more points for a total of 18. And again, I have 17 points used. So I've gone from having 18 points, or like I guess 15 points rolled over, to only having 1 point to spend. So definitely my budget is gone. It's basically back to 0, which is fine, especially because I got so many new things to play with. I don't think I'm going to want to buy anything in a while anyway. Maybe like if there's something specific that I want, maybe like I'm looking at the closest concealer, so maybe that's one thing that I want to buy, but I might wait now depending on what happens. But that is basically my beauty budget update. It's been a lot of information and a lot of products in this video. So you know, moving forward, I don't think I'm going to spend much in May, to be honest, and I don't have many points either. So I think I might kind of, you know, start saving in points again. And you know, I am really excited about all the new products. I am a bit sad about my no eyeshadow no buy kind of slightly going out the window. Although not quite, because I did say at the beginning of the year that I could buy things if they were really discounted, and I mean I don't think you can get anything as discounted as this. So you know, I'm not too disappointed. These are kind of things that I want anyway. And I just remember saying that is actually one more palette that I have. I don't know, I think it might be in my drawers already because I took it out of my box, because it's one that I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna, like, what I want to do with. Is the Rebel Quad from Charlotte Tilbury. That one I also got from her, but I don't know, I want to compare it to other greens in my collection and see, but that is another one. So anyway, back to it. I feel like, you know, my eyeshadow no buy kind of went out the window, but still not. I didn't break any rules technically. But it also means that I probably won't buy anything, for example, in the Sydney Grace Christmas in July sale, and if I do, it'll be some very limited amounts. But I honestly don't think I will do that this year, unless it's like a deal that I really do want to take part in. And also same for like Christmas or Black Friday. I don't think there's much that I want to buy anymore. I'm still looking at Divina and maybe Cleona, depending if they do another expansion. Otherwise, I do think I'm going to stick a bit more hardly to my no buy, or my eyeshadow no buy. So that is it for today, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know what is the most recent thing that you have brought into your collection makeup wise, and otherwise I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye guys.